Behind me stand an art piece. And I know you might have thought, well, Masha, the art piece is in front of us. And you would be very kind to think so, but no, seriously, it's right here. It's right here next to me. This beautiful art piece was planned. And I know this is what parents of newborns tend to say. He was planned. This was planned too. And I mean, it's not a baby, but it's my baby. And although it's not a real baby to you, it's very real to me. And this baby was born after my discovery of Mob Psycho 100. The video you're about to watch, because believe it or not, this is only the introduction. I do not plan on standing next to my artwork while holding a blue Yeti in my hands as I kind of walk you through what this is. I planned something cooler for us. Now that this is out of the way, I want to warn you before we start, because this introduction is taking some time already. If you don't want to be spoiled anything about Mob Psycho 100, listen to this on mute, because I will not shy away. Now be my guest, enjoy your snacks, watch this comfortably, and enjoy. You know when you like something so much that you feel the need to create a painting about it? Well, that's what happened with Mob Psycho 100. After watching the last episode, which this is a mashup of different pieces from the last episode, I felt so strongly about it that I decided to put together a scene that would remind me not only of the lessons of the anime, but also how that last episode made me feel. Mob Psycho 100 was originally created by the same person who created One Punch Man, and this is why I gave it a go. I found that One Punch Man was not only funny, but accessible, different, fun, and I was expecting the same from Mob Psycho 100, and I really wasn't disappointed. In fact, I felt so much for the main character Mob, which is represented in this painting, that I cried many times, I laughed many times, but I saw myself many times. I related to the naive side of the character to begin. I mean, Mob, as we know, got into what we would call a scam, basically, and was helping someone who was initially taking advantage of him and using him for his powers, even though Mob himself was feeling very insecure about his own power. People around him could see how powerful he was, and he was quite the only one who was blind to it. I mean, Mob wanted to be popular with girls and have validation at school and pretty much be like his brother. And I felt like that's what most of us experience. What we have is not enough, and we want to be like someone else, and the grass is always greener on the other side, or at least we think so. And we thought that Mob was powerful to begin, but through the anime, Mob unleashes a percentage of power that was untapped before. And this power is not something that he is proud of. He initially was brainwashed into thinking that using his power for his own good was bad, and that he would be punished by doing so. And that was told to him by Regan, the scammer who used Mob for his business model, pretending to be a psychic and being able to exorcise demons. Meanwhile, Mob was actually able to do these things. Regan was only a scam artist that would end up confessing who he really was to Mob when Mob reached his full potential. And this is also why I think you become more powerful when you truly accept yourself. You tap into your power and you refuse to let people walk all over you. So Mob was slowly and gradually unleashing his power and helping others through that, and would never tap into his powers for himself. He really thought that if he would do that, something bad would happen. And I think this is a kind of fantastic thinking that most of us have when we think we can't speak badly of people, we cannot express our opinion, we can't say to people how we feel because they're going to be mad at us, they're not going to understand, we're going to lose them. It's always this anxiety-filled thinking that I felt was very relatable in Mob's character. And funny enough, through each episode and every time he taps into an emotion, his power unleashes. And we think maybe Mob has some sort of emotional control or has some emotional ability, but all in all, at the end of the anime, we see that it's because he was releasing some feelings that he had been holding on to for way too long. And it was keeping him into this Mr. Nice Guy, overly nice guy, but not only nice, but selfless, which on itself, you would say, Masha, it's not a bad thing, but when you completely deny yourself and you don't even get into critical thinking, that can become dangerous, and you may be used by other people and abused by other people. And this is what happened to the character initially. But every time a little more power unleashes, he becomes stronger and he becomes closer to himself. And we discover that Mob, surprisingly, even though he made us feel a lot of emotion and rage because we see him getting walked all over and we think, when is this gonna end? Wake up. You deserve better. You're so powerful. You can use your power. Don't get beat up. You can do it. You know? We understand that it's because he was trying to protect others from himself. Because he thought that something was wrong with him. He had a lot of resentment. He felt like he wasn't enough. He wanted to be someone else. And he was so nice that immediately I kind of thought to myself, well, I know that someone is as nice as they can be not nice. There's this polarity in people. And through a lot of episodes, because I believe Mob Psycho has 200 and something episodes. It's a rather short anime, I would say, being a One Piece watcher. But we see that Mob truly tap into his potential gradually, and he becomes more assertive as the episodes go. But through the last episode, and this is what inspired this painting, he decides to go confess his feelings to his childhood crush. And as he was walking by carrying those flowers that are also visible in the painting I did, he gets hit by a car. And this is where everything to me not only made sense, but truly began. At the last episode, where he unleashes all of the power, everything that had been kept inside. And it is so much that the city is in shambles. Everything is broken down. There's pieces, rocks floating, buildings torn apart. And it's funny because love truly was the catalyst. I mean, if Mob never decided to go confess his love, that might not have happened. And this is why I decided to pick pink and red as my colors because at the end of the day, love is such a strong catalyst for a lot of us, just like hate also is. But in this case, it was love. And we got to see all of the power that we hadn't had a chance to witness in the anime, despite Mob being visibly stronger every episode, becoming this strong, incredible, powerful man. And yet we had only seen a tiny bit of what he was capable of. And we get to see the duality in Mob in this episode that I got inspired to create this painting, where we see the very nice Mob fighting against the very spiteful, resentful Mob that wants to destroy everything and show people who he really is and use his power for what he deems good, instead of helping people, using them for myself and myself only. But what I loved the most about this episode specifically is the conclusion, where after diving into the super nice side of himself and then diving into the super mean side of himself or resentful side of himself, we see that Mob gets to a middle ground where he accepts both sides, and he becomes even more powerful that way because he realizes that he doesn't need nobody. He doesn't need no scam salesman. He doesn't need no fake friends. He doesn't need no girls to like him. He got everything within himself. And he is an amazing person who only had, like most of us, a fair share of challenges. And when he accepts himself, we tap into this neutrality. It's no more Mr. Nice Guy or destroying everything super chaotic. It's just pure acceptance, pure neutrality. And this scene will always remind me that it is 110% okay to be yourself and to love yourself through thick and thin, to be proud of what made you who you are, and to change. It's okay to change. It's okay to grow. It's okay to evolve. And you never need anyone, but it's okay to want people around you because you truly are stronger with other people. I am so happy that I am alive at the same time as this amazing anime was put together and created. And it was such a fun painting to do. And this is the final result of the painting. Thank you so much for watching. And if you watch Mob Psycho 100 as well, let me know your thoughts in the comments, not only about the last episode, because to me that was so impactful, but the lessons in this anime as a whole.